Ladies and gentlemen, Nubkeks here, and today's video is a negative video. Yes, indeed, today's video is a pessimistic video looking at cut content. And I think I'll prove it to you that Shadowlands is going to have a massive chunk of cut content. I'll be able to prove it now. I realized I had to make this video, guys, because I was looking at Bellular Clips the other day and I saw, wow, he has this big rant video, which is super popular. Wow. And then I looked again today and I saw he has not only one, but 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 extra rant videos since then. Oh my God, come on, BLIZZ seriously, just not good. So I said, man, Nubkeks, what are you trying to do making nice content? You're about 6 videos short in your quota of negative videos. So let's go. Today is the negative video. Let's do it. This is, basically what I've done here is I've taken some of my raid planning for Mythic Sergeant Athreus, and we've superposed it with, I believe Taliesin actually made this from Taliesin and Evitel, made this chart, which is really good, which shows you the length of the different patches for the last 5 expansions, including Shadowlands. I have added in patch 8.2. And yeah, these essentially, bear in mind that there are the final patches. This shows you where they start. Obviously, he didn't feel the need to put that in, which kind of makes sense, right? But for Mrs. Pandaria, you can see very fast patches. And then 5.4 was here, which is Siege of Orgrimmar, which went on forever and ever and ever until Warlords of Draenor came out. Warlords of Draenor, they got patch 6.1, which added Twitter compatibility and functionality to the game and no actual content. And then 6.2 arrived right here, which was all of the content that was ever added to the game for Warlords, which was Tanan Jungle and Hellfire Citadel. And that was all they got. This was the notorious cut expansion, where just massive chunks of content were cut. Now, Ian has come out and said that it's not going to be a Warlords of Draenor situation. But again, I'm going to show you why it's sort of halfway between the two. Legion, whatever, 7.3 is here, which was the Argus patch. And then again for BFA, I added in patch 8.2, which wasn't in the default thing. And then 8.3 cut in here. So you can see that BFA actually dragged on a really, really long. It was one of the longest expansions ever. Did that have a negative impact on Shadowlands? Yeah, I think it definitely did. I think it absolutely did, no question. Big theory I have here. I'm calling this the 500-day limit. Okay? What does this mean? Simple enough. Blizzard releases a WoW expansion every 2 years. It's the biggest surge of interest. It's the biggest surge of revenue. They're not going to skip it. New WoW expansion every 2 years. What has this line got to do with that? This is the absolute furthest they can push the current expansion development before they have to go and focus on the new game. Because this is the way it works. This is the reality, right? This is the reality, guys. Why is patch 5.4 coming out here, and then we've got this massive long patch before the next expansion? 6.2 here, massive long stretch. 7.3, massive. Why do they have these massive long stretches? Simple, really. They just can't make the expansion fast enough otherwise. They literally need almost a year. They need almost a year of just complete focus to get an expansion off the ground, to actually get it finished, to get it done on time. So these year gaps here at the end seem, honestly, at this point, basically unavoidable. That's just the way it is. The 500-day line here, this is the latest they can go. This is how late they went in BFA. And again, this is probably too late. This is pushing it. This is really pushing it. Where did it have a negative impact on Shadowlands? Yeah, probably. And it's probably part of why Shadowlands was pushed so late, right? These other expansions, they've been aiming to release in August. Shadowlands didn't come out until, what was it, November or something? It was super late. What I have done then, let us imagine hypothetically how long these patches in Shadowlands are going to be. And what I've done, give you a good visual, I took this length of 9.0, again, this is the expected length, and I said, what if 9.1 was the same length? This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. We have just enough time, a very small margin of time to get another patch in before we reach what I think is really the absolute limit, right? So we have just enough development time to get another patch out before they need to work full time on the next expansion. 9.2, and look at that, believe it or not, that brings us to about 700 days, right? This brings us to around about 2 years, which brings us to November. And it's pushing it. This is keeping it tight. So I mean, honestly, I even think this is enough. Just this visual is enough to go, okay, yeah, I mean, that's basically all they can do. I actually made another visual. This is what it would look like if we take the remaining time that we have and we split it evenly between 3 more patches. Again, that is the amount of patches that we had in BFA. That is the amount of patches we had in Legion. This is what it looks like. And look, this is never going to happen. These patches are so short. They are so quick. This is almost Blizzard at their most efficient, and this is just not something that they've hit. It's even more efficient than Legion, and they had basically a cancelled expansion in Warlords. They had months and months extra to prepare. It's not going to happen. There's no way. In fact, even you could see that with this, 9.3 will be coming out after the cutoff point, which actually probably not that clear is the left-hand part of this bar here. So I do not see this happening. I don't think there's any chance. I think this is what we're going to get. And again, that means cut content. It's as if at BFA, we had Uldir. Then we had the Battle of Dazar'alor, Crucible of Storms. And then we had Ishara's Eternal Palace, Mechagon. And that's it. Boom. Forget the whole N'Zoth thing. Forget Ny'alotha. Forget all that. Entirely cut content. Gone. Boom. It's like Legion starts off. We have Eternal Nightmare, or Emerald Nightmare. We have the Nighthold. Then we're going, you've got Trial of Valor in there as well. We move into Tomb of Sargeras, and that's the end. Cut off. 7.2, 9.2, cut off. Argus, cut content. Antorus, cut content. That is effectively what is happening to Shadowlands. What I think really at this point has to happen to Shadowlands. Because there's no way they're ahead on the next expansion. It's not as if they're going, yeah, we're really far behind on Shadowlands. You know, COVID, everything has screwed everything up. We are just way far behind. Next expansion, though, is going great. We are months ahead of schedule. It's fantastic. What a surprise. Suddenly super efficient. Nah, it's not going to happen. They are behind on the next expansion as well. They're going to be working around the clock to catch up on that. So yeah. The good news is that Ian did confirm 9.2. He confirmed 9.2 is coming. It's happening. So I think that's good. But again, I think the fact that he specifically said it's not like Warlords of Draenor, we will get a 9.2. The fact that he didn't say it's not like Warlords of Draenor, don't worry, it's the same as BFA. It's the same as Legion. It's the same as the 2 other games where I'm game director. There's going to be 8.2, 8.3, 7.2, 7.3, 9.2. We'll have a 9.3 as well. Don't worry, guys. We have all that content. No, he didn't say that. He said, don't worry, there will be 9.2. So again, what I read into that almost definitely is there's 9.2, no 9.3. In terms of story, it doesn't leave us much either. We go into Sanctum of Domination, showdown with Sylvanas, stuff goes down. Then all that's left is 9.2. My theory on what will happen, I think, just like they actually did with Ny'alotha, I think it will be Icecrown. Jailer gets into Azeroth, gets into the life world, as he starts taking over Icecrown, starts invading from there. And we have to go and fight him back. I think it'd be nice, obviously, if all of the zones in Northrend were involved. I'd be disappointed, but I kind of expect it might be Icecrown only. And then I think as a realistic medium ground, I'm kind of hoping it might be like Icecrown and Storm Peaks, like we had 2 zones in Ny'alotha. I'm hoping that's what we might get. So those 2 zones, it lets them develop the stuff way faster because they can just reuse those assets, reuse the geometry, whatever, the geography, and just get that content done quicker. And then probably like Icecrown Citadel 2.0 is the final thing with the Jailer on top. That will be my bet. I think that's what will probably happen in 9.2. Now, we'll see. We shall see. But I think that's what it's going to be. And I think that is all there is going to be. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Yeah, I mean, are you holding out hope that somehow there's going to be all these patches? Please tell me why, because I don't see how we could really expect that anymore. Are you hopeful for the content of 9.2? Do you think it is going to be good? Will there be substantial stuff there? Or do you think that, like I'm saying, they'll probably have to reuse a lot of assets just to get it done and get working on the next expansion? Interesting question as well. Will we get an equivalent of the Crucible of Storms, of the Trial of Valor, a little 2-3 boss raid? Will we get one of those at some point? It's not coming in 9.1. Might be nice in 9.2 if they have the time to do it. Could be even cool to throw it in at the end of 9.2, a little bonus raid. In that big long period where we're waiting for the next expansion. We'll see. we'll see. But yeah, guys, that's kind of what I think. That's kind of what I think. Not the best news, but I think we pretty much all hopefully saw coming at this point. But there you go, guys. Yeah, Shadowlands, cut content for sure. Almost definitely it's Ian going into this before COVID and everything, and the delays of BFA had the exact same plan. They sat down when Ian took over in Legion and said, yeah, okay, there will be 3 major patches each expansion. They did it in Legion. They did it in BFA. I'm sure they planned it in Shadowlands, and they've not been able to hit that goal. There you go. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.